Not really, but sounds like a nice signal.
Yeah, you ought to be able to hold a repeater for a good little while. Like I said, I'm not sure the exact range on coverage, but it's got pretty good wide coverage. This is a nice repeater. The Repeater Association keeps it in tip-top working order, and really don't have any problems at all with it, though.
Radio X-ray.
Person that'll know the answer, W4TH with.
Well, I don't claim to know anything, but the last I recall, it's about 70 or 80 mile range on that repeater. We're going north. It's a big monolith off there. It's like an old AM tower. It's probably about 700-800 feet up there in the air. It's west of the interstate for 995.
Into YYC, very good. Yeah, sounds like a good machine.
No, we appreciate it. It's not mine, but they do take care of it. Welcome to use it as you come through, as you already are. Take it you're from New Jersey?
Negative, New York.
Gotcha. Yeah, I heard the conversation as I walked in the door there. I spent some time up that way. I used to deliver southern chicken to Jamaica, New York, midnight, and come back down through New Jersey, and also make a stop at the, what was that place called? Farmer's Market, and make a stop down in New Jersey on the way back to Atlanta with a bunch of kosher meat.
Oh, interesting. What was the name of the company?
Company I worked for at the time was RWH. Robert William Howard was the man's name, so they just used the initials. And we used to do a lot of trade up that way. A lot of you guys up that way love the Wendy's chicken patties and Popeye's chicken. That was the product. It was right out of Georgia down there. And we didn't go up that way and drop it off in Jamaica, New York. We come as far north as, where was it? Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, all the way up to Palmyra, and drop that stuff off and come back with a load of ice cream or a load of candy out of Hershey or Reese's. Carry it all the way back down to Atlanta again.
What was the company with the kosher chickens?
I don't recall. I don't know that it was chicken that came back. I know it was lamb, veal, and maybe others. I think we came home with kosher beef from the farmer's market right up there outside of the city.
Okay, very good. Did you mind driving through the city?
No, not at all. In fact, I've been up to Maine several times. There's a McLean Services, or a food distributor up there. I think they've changed names. Somebody bought them out. But there was a DC up there in Maine. You go up there and drop off a bunch of their items that we pick up and come back through the city. And it's better to either drive through or drive around the city at night. And even had to come back through the day. I'd go around the top side and come around that way. So, no, not at all. I've even done some stops downtown, well, almost downtown. Quite a few places. I took a load of Werner ladders under the Werner flag when I first started out. Unloaded ladders on one side of the street and the other. And I even had the police officer guide me in. He was not concerned about the vehicles on the corner. He's like, if you hit it, you hit it. They're not supposed to be there. So I took a wide swing and I missed everything.
Into YYC. I actually live in Long Island, just outside the city. Have you been down that way?
I've been up the Parkway several times. I've never been on Long Island, no.
Alright, I hope you aren't on any parkways with the truck.
Well, I say Parkway. I guess I mean the Bronx Expressway. Is that right? It's been a while.
Yes, we have expressways and parkways. Parkways are no commercial traffic, and on Long Island, a lot of low overpasses on the parkways. So the trucks end up on there. It's always a problem.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of video of that, and I can understand why. Yeah, I forgot about that. Always expressways and never the parkways. And like I said, that's the reason why I go around the top side. If I can get through town, if you want to call it town, I'd go around the top side. It's mainly traffic during the day. I didn't mean to leave you out there. K4ARX.
It's okay. I'm just standing here listening to the conversation. I just enjoy listening to y'all talk about the area because I've never been up there. So you go ahead and carry on. And Howard, I just looked you up on QRZ, and your license expires in June. I just didn't know whether you knew that or not. Into YYCW4RTH, back over to you.
Actually, I forgot. Thank you for the reminder. I'll have to remember to renew. How far in advance can you renew? Do you know?
Now, I'm not sure, but I think you got like a 90-day grace period after it expires to renew. But I'm not sure how far in advance you can renew.
Yeah, I don't know. Their website kind of complicated. I don't know. And last couple of times I renewed, wasn't fun.
Yeah, I think you got about a 2-year grace period.
Y'all carry on. I'm going to get back to what I was doing. I just thought I'd get back to you, Howard, and just give you a little ride along while you're traveling up 95. So anyway, nice talking to you. So hopefully you have safe travels up there in New York, and maybe we'll chat again when you come back through. So into YYC, clear with you, and I'll turn it back over to you, William, and y'all can go ahead and carry on. K4ARX, W4RTA.
All right, sounds good. We'll catch you later. I'm sure you'll be around. K4ARX.
K4ARX and 2YYC. Yeah, I'll tell you, I programming in some other repeaters on the way down to Florida, and they're all on, but nobody's on them. But always go through Richmond and find somebody to talk to.
It's interesting you say that. Those places like Florida and maybe Georgia. Here the Carolinas are kind of busy. I don't really recall. I've done more 2-meter work out in the Midwest, and even on 146.52, even at midnight, I've talked to guys and locals that go through Corbin, Kentucky, and the middle of Kentucky and whatnot, up into Illinois. Talked to one guy rather regularly in the middle of Illinois, waiting on his wife to come home from work. They'd talk simplex. He'd have a big station, and she'd be about 2 hours away on the way home from work that night, or every night it seemed like. He'd talk to her simplex. So it's kind of strange you're not using those things down in Florida, I guess, unless they're just kind of legacy repeaters, or maybe even paper repeaters. I don't know. But yeah, somebody's always usually here. I talked to a fella about 1 o'clock this morning on 5.2.
Wow, that's interesting. I don't know. Even in New York, we have plenty of repeaters, but most of them are not too active. I think it seems like general loss interest in 2 meters.
Now, understood. If you're making reference to only analog, understood. Lots of folks are making the transition over to digital. I've talked to the guy that runs Scanner School on YouTube up there. He's right up there either in Jersey or in New York. I think he's on the Jersey side now, and he does a bit of amateur. He does GMRS. He does pagers, the old fire pagers and whatnot, putting those back into service, and they seem pretty busy. I think the talk is there's more activity on GMRS than there is actually 2 meters or 70 centimeters for that matter. But I think they use more 70 centimeters than 2 anyways. But I do understand. A guy I talked to this morning about 1 o'clock, he was a traveling nurse. He was leaving New York for Ocala, Florida.
Yeah, I've heard about those people. You know, they go work someplace for a short time and then they're on to the next job. Well, what people doing on GMRS? Is it like a new citizen band?
You can say that. It's basically the same thing, but then again, the difference is you're running 50 watts maximum on the radio if you have a mobile radio. They have 8 pairs for repeaters, I believe. They call them secret frequencies, but they're not. They're just 7 or 8 input frequencies for the repeater pairs. And yes, they use their repeaters up there. Seems to be more active on the GMRS repeater pairs than it is simplex, but it's probably used a lot more often. Personally, I sit here and I run 6 or 7 radios at one time and listen to them all. I listen to everything from low VHF up through GMRS. We've got one repeater here. It's linked to the 220 band, and it's up around 957 megahertz, or maybe it's 927. 927.050, I think it is.
And to YYC. Okay, I haven't gone into any of the digital stuff, but do HF. So with the GMRS repeaters, are they open to anybody, or what do they do with them?
Well, when you go renew your license for amateur, you can go in there and also look at the GMRS licenses. I think they're down to $35 for a personal license, and that covers everyone in your household, your family, and you'd only need one license, and just get your gear set up. Sometimes the repeaters are closed, sometimes they're open, sometimes they're in the middle, which means you join a group, you go through the website or a website, obtain permission, they'll give you a PL tone, I suppose, and you could use it just like these repeaters. I think they're kind of busy with that way. It's not like a contact type hobby, but you keep up with your family and probably other groups, if you will.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I have a friend. He's a ham, but he's more involved with GMRS. And who's selling those radios for GMRS?
You know, there's plenty of dealers, if you will. You go to Amazon or eBay or someplace on the internet. That's why Baofeng is so popular these days. Ocean, TYT, Radioddity. There's one more that's a big dealer. RF Communications, I think. I don't remember. There's quite a few out there, and there are some GMRS specific radios you can get. You don't have to worry about all the buttons and keys on the front. It's pretty much programmed by software, and a lot of them are programmed by software. But $35 for that one license will last you 10 years. That's $3.50 a year. It's kind of hard to beat.
Well, what's to stop people from not getting a license? Just going on?
And that's been a big debate for quite some time, and it's touted on the internet. I don't think there's anything to really stop them except for repeater use. Won't have a lot of people talk to you if you don't have a license on a repeater pair, but it happens on the simplex or direct frequencies all the time. Personally, wouldn't get caught doing it. I mean, there's always fees and fines, nasty letters from the FCC. Personally, I would avoid it. I have a GMRS license, and I can do that here, and pretty much wherever I have access. But I wouldn't discount 70 centimeters, which you're already licensed, and 2 meters. The GMRS is just another tool in the toolbox.
CMRS users required to identify?
Yeah, I think it's usually at the beginning of a transmission when you call, maybe every 15 minutes, unlike our 10, and at the end of each, well, not each transmission, but at the end of your, communication. And they also use kind of like a handle. They'll give you a unit number if you're in a certain group, or you can identify with a name or a location. It's again, it's like CB radio. You have certain limited rules, but it's pretty good service. I've been using it for 20 or 30 years now.
I didn't know it was ran that long. I gotta make a pit stop. Be back in a few minutes if you're still on. Into YYC.
Yes, sir. I'll be here. I'll be glad to wait on you. Be safe out there. Into YYC from K4ARX. Not bad.